Hi guys. Okay, so as promised, I am bringing you the new good and in HD videos that I've been talking about making for a very long time. The one I'm making today is it was requested over a year ago. Oh, I have blisters on my hand. Anyway, and it's why I chose plastic surgery or cosmetic surgery, whatever you want to call it. Anybody who's been watching my videos knows that about a year ago, a little over a year ago, I had a mastopexy with a bit of a breast reduction. And so what that is they remove some of the fat in the breasts, and then they remove any like extra tissue, or they kind of just put them back up where they were, except I also had a reduction with mine. And this is why I chose to go the plastic surgery route, because I'm not really a person who's very into plastic surgery. I mean, I watched Nip Tuck, but it wasn't really for the surgery. It was kind of because it was just naughty. And, I think that exercise and diet can do things more powerful than plastic surgery could ever do. Definitely safer and longer lasting and more natural and everything like that. But there are some things that you put your body through that cannot simply be taken care of with diet and exercise. There are certain extremes or situations that need something more, something kind of that produces faster results. And I don't know, whatever I'm trying to say. Anyway, anyone who's been watching my videos for a long time, you know that I used to weigh about 50 pounds more than I do now. And I was very large in the chest area. So by the time I was like 13, I was a D, I was a double D by like 15, and then I was a quadruple G when I graduated high school, or quadruple D when I graduated high school, which is an F, and then I was a G in college. And even when I would slim down, like the rest of me, my boobs never seemed to shrink. And it was one of those things where it was just so frustrating. Like being a 13-year-old girl and having just strangers honk at you from their cars, or like people just kind of automatically assume that because you're busty, you're easy. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I had people like tell me, oh, hey, my mom's out of town this weekend. I had some guy from my grade school pull me over in PE once. I didn't go to junior high with the kids from my grade school, but I went back to the same public school where they all were. So I saw them again several years later. And I was like 16, and this boy who hadn't talked to me since like the 4th grade came up to me and was like, hey, my parents are out of town, and I want to know when I can pick you up. I was like, oh my gosh, like, who are you? Do you remember me? I mean, it was just so strange and so uncomfortable to have to really deal with that starting like 12, 13. Because you're still kind of in the brain, you've got like the brain of a child, like freshman year, the end of junior high is kind of when hormones start kicking in and stuff. But I started developing in like 7th grade. So I would have been around 12 when I really started developing. And like I said, by the time I was 14, I was a D. So I was like a C when I was like 12 and 13. It was just... like my mom's side of the family, they're all double Ds. My dad's side of the family, all the women are double Ds. So, I mean, I just got bombarded with all of it. And I could never find swimsuits or dresses or shirts or anything. Sports bras. It was just miserable shopping. And thinking about clothes. I would just cry in dressing rooms because we can't find a bra for under $80 that lasts over a month. I mean, wires would pop out of them like crazy. They'd all get stretched out and ripped and just wouldn't hold anything anywhere. It was just really frustrating. And I was kind of a tomboy, like punkish kid, and so I didn't really want to deal with womany stuff all up hanging on my front. was kind of androgynous, and so the giant boobs were kind of like messing with my flow. And just, I hated them. They were always in the way. I looked trampy in anything I tried on. I couldn't wear shirts with like words right here. Like I couldn't wear this shirt because these words would be like huge and stretched out. Like it just sucked. And when I was 19, I'd always thought about a breast reduction, but that just seemed like something like, oh, when I'm 30 or whenever. You know, it just never really seemed plausible to do as a young woman. And then about 2 years ago, I got really into health and fitness after I had a binge eating disorder issue followed by different. Anyway, after really strange bouts with eating disorders, I became very healthy and lost 50 pounds through diet and exercise and everything like that. Just really taking care of myself. But the thing was, my boobs did shrink, but they had been so big for so long that they kind of just looked like the air had been let out of them a little bit. Like I looked like maybe I should have already like had a baby or something. It didn't look like a 21-year-old girl should. I mean, I didn't have like old lady boobs, but we're just gonna say they were like, you know, somebody let the helium out a little bit. And I really didn't like that, and I wasn't comfortable with that. And I was reading a bunch of stuff online about women who got mastopexies and breast reductions, and they were saying that their only regret was not getting it when they were younger, because they waited till they were like 35 or 40 to get it. And they said, my only regret was not waiting or not getting it when I was younger, when I first really wanted it. And so, you know, I kind of made the decision. A bunch of signs kind of happened. You know, I think God threw me a few signs here and there, and then it just, the finances, everything kind of worked out. And I made the decision to get it done because I've been taking really good care of my skin, you know, making sure I stayed hydrated and everything like that. But there was just, they had been so big for so long that they weren't ever going to just tighten right back up like perky little boobs. So, yeah, my option was either to, and the thing was, it's like now that I had lost enough weight and my boobs were small enough that I could fit in like regular bikini tops, my boobs had like no firmness to them, so they just like fall the bikini tops. And so I still couldn't wear anything, and it was just really frustrating. And I didn't feel attractive. And one of the things is that when you work really hard to lose 50 pounds, you want to feel really attractive, and you can't if you feel like your boobs are evil. Anyway, so I decided to get plastic surgery to take care of it for me. It really seemed like the right thing to do, and I knew that there wasn't anything I could do that was going to fix the situation. I either had to live with it or do something about it, and I did something about it. Now, I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, I was watching a show the other day, and a girl got plastic surgery. She wanted a bigger butt because she didn't lose weight, but she was like getting older, and her butt was like getting flat or whatever. But the girl didn't work out at all. And the thing was, she spent all this money to get her fat transferred from one place to another. And it showed, and she was in these like pants for like a week after the surgery. These pants would get this like clear, reddishy, bloody fluid just leaking all over them, and she had to sleep on like this cloth and stuff because she got a Brazilian butt lift, and she couldn't move, and like she was in agony, and just I've never seen so much leakage from something like that. Like it was going through this like a diaper they had her in, and the bandages, and her clothes, and onto the bedspread, like through this plastic tarpy stuff. And it was still doing that like several days later. But she's like, it's good. We want the fluid out. And yeah, I understand that. But you chose to get that done, and all you need to do is some squat jumps, honey. Just do some lunges. Build that up with muscle. oh. And then she was really happy because she was like, look, it's still jiggly. Like when it healed up, it's like her butt, it was all fat. Like it was all just really wiggly. And I didn't understand. It sounded like it was unnecessary. It was expensive. It was painful. I've never, like, she was in agony. You know, like she couldn't move, she couldn't sit, she couldn't lean, she couldn't bend. She had to pee in a cup for like a week and a half because she couldn't sit on a toilet. I don't know what happened with any other situations, but I don't care. And then it was like showing her at the club, like a few months later, she's like, it's all healed, and a guy like slapped her in the ass. And I was just like, oh, don't touch! Like, oh, that just sounded like it would hurt. Like if somebody had come up and smacked me in the boob right after my surgery, like, oh my gosh. That would have been insane. Anyway, I'm completely getting off topic. So it's just, I encourage you definitely to do a lot of research before you pick a surgeon, before you decide to get surgery, and before you decide what procedure. Like I said, I had a mastopexy, which is more like a boob lift and tighten with a bit of reduction because they were still bigger than I wanted them to. I told him, I was like, I don't care how small they are. I don't care. Make them like concave. I don't care. I have had huge boobs for so long. I don't care if I look like a boy afterwards. I just don't want them. And there really wasn't any doubt. I mean, there was a bit of nervousness, but there's nothing worse than being really uncomfortable in your own skin and knowing that you can't do anything about it. You know, I mean, it's one thing when you're uncomfortable in your own skin, but you know if you just start exercising, you'd lose the extra weight or whatever, or you'd tone this up or tone that up. But when you know that physically there's nothing that you can do, diet-wise, exercise-wise, anything at all that you can do to fix that. And it was a major source of, like, insecurity for me almost. Not too much, because one of the things where, like, nobody would ever see it and know, but I wouldn't feel good when, like, I was in the shower or when I saw myself naked. I just didn't feel good, and I didn't like it. And it's really hard to be married when you don't want anybody ever to see your boobs. So that's why I chose plastic surgery. Plus, now I don't always have to wear a bra. Anyway, I will be making more on like the consultation and the actual surgery itself and the recovery and all this stuff, but I just was making this video to tell you guys why I chose plastic surgery. Really think it through if you're considering plastic surgery. Make sure it's something that you can't fix with alternative methods. Plastic surgery, in my opinion, is really a last resort. Like, if you just want better skin, just eat a lot more fruit. Don't go and get Botox or chemical peels or things that are really going to be, like, dangerous for you, you know? But if you have something, like, if you had twins or triplets, I know a lot of women who have multiple babies, that extra skin, you know, it just, anything that's, like, that kind of a source of anxiety where it's something that's happened to your body, it's not really your fault, but you don't feel beautiful about it, then yeah. Fix it, but don't get hooked on it. Don't be like the girls that get 4 nose jobs and the collagen in their facelifts and ended up looking like this. Yes. Do I look better now, you guys? I'm smiling. Oh wait, I have to puff my lips up. Okay. I like plastic surgery. Oh, crap, I can't move our lips. Hey. When does this stuff wear off? I gotta go.